I'm going to be modeling this Scifi lab table, and I brought the reference in already into Blender, and I pressed S4 and I moved it back on the y-axis so it's out of the way. And just follow the link in the description if you'd like to get the reference and model along with me. All right, it's going to be on the Zero Bio Patreon, but it's free. Just become a free member and you can get that and lots of other stuff. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to press Shift A, mesh plane, and I'm going to try to light it up on this view here. I'm going to rotate X90. I'll go into wireframe, S to scale. And it's pretty good right now where I've got it. So I'm going to grab these vertices, pull them to there. Now it's not going to be perfect on the diagram, so we're going to do our thing. All right, so yeah, that's pretty good. Just to the outer border of all that. So I've got all the vertices selected, and I'm going to press Shift Control B to bevel. I've got 3 vertices there. I'm going to roll my mouse up 4, 5, and then just adjust this. There. I'm going to do something like that. Okay? So with that done, I'm going to press RX90 to rotate it, and now I'm going to pull it down to this diagram here. And that's pretty good. I'm going to press E to extrude and GZ and pull this up to here. Zoom in a bit more. I'm going to press I to inset, just pull it in, and I'm looking at this dot here. And then E and GZ up to the top, just like that. Okay, good. Now I'm going to press I to inset again, hold Shift and pull in, give it a little bit of a border around here. And then E to extrude and pull down just a little bit for the tabletop. Okay, good. 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click this edge. We're going to bevel this, Control B and pull, and I only want 3 in there, so I'm going to go like that. Shift Alt and click this edge, Control B and pull just a little bit, like that. I'm going to press Control R and drag an edge loop down near the bottom of this one to help with the shading. And then I'm going to bevel these 2 top ones, Shift Alt and click both of those, Control B like that, and press 3 for face selection and select that top face, and just press I to inset, just pull it in a little bit. That'll help with the shading too. So now we can shade smooth, and we still will have some shading issues, and I can come over here and go to normals, weighted normal, and that'll fix that. Now what I'm going to do is come in here and select it all on Shift S, cursor selected, to make sure I'm in the middle, my 3D cursor is right in the middle of this actual geometry. Okay, so now under the table we have some sort of plane-like things. So Shift A, mesh plane, take that and press G, just drag it over, and let's try to get the size of this. So pressing S to scale, and just something like this. Pull it down to here. I think that's pretty good. So let's press E to extrude and pull it up into the table, X faces. Let's delete that top face that you see right there. All right, now we're going to bevel, 2 for edge selection, select the vertical, the corners there, vertical edges, whatever. So like that, not that one, that one. And I'm going to press Control B and pull with 3. Shift Alt and click there. Control B and give that a bit of a bevel as well. I can shade smooth. Any shading errors we'll deal with in a bit. I don't have to do that again. Okay, now that's right there. My 3D cursor's there, so I should be able to take this and mirror it to the other side in the X, and that's good. Let's keep going. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to create this cylinder stuff. So I'm going to actually take this one, select it, Shift S, cursor to select it, so that my 3D cursor is right in the middle of that. So let's bring in a cylinder, and I'm going to go for 16 vertices here, and in the cap fill I'm switching that to nothing so that it's open on the ends. Take that, go into wireframe, S to scale, let's zoom in, S to scale, and I want to get the diameter of this circle right here, or this cylinder. That's pretty good. Shift Alt and click there, just pull that in. Shift Alt and click, pull that to about there. So we have that. Let's have a look at that. Okay, I'm going to fill that, F to make a face, and Control B to bevel. There we go. We can shade smooth, and that's fine for that connection. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this circle here, and I want to switch to face selection, number 3. Select that, and Shift D to duplicate, pull that down, scale it till it's the approximate diameter of this. And I'm going to pull it down to here, and then extrude up into this, and while it's still selected, X faces, get rid of that face. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to use it. So I'm going to Shift D to duplicate, pull it down, scale it out, bring it up to here, and then press E to extrude, pull down into this cube-like thing. Let's get rid of that face. And I can also get rid of this face. That's part of this cylinder there. Okay, let's select that face and bevel, Control B with 3, good. All right, so next we're going to do the sort of the thread on this. So let's just come in and Control R and roll the mouse up until we get a number of segments like that. Control B to bevel, hold Shift and pull till they almost touch, like that, something like that. E and Alt S and push, no pull. You have to decide which way we'll bring it out. So bring it out a little bit. Deselect and then edge selection, Shift Alt and click the middle ones. Like that. Alt S, pull or push. I'm going to actually have to pull to make them come out. Shade smooth, and we have that. And that's going to simulate our thread, sort of. Okay, we can take this and this, we can join that together, and we get it on both sides. All right, good stuff. Let's do this bar here, and the way we'll do that is we'll take a circle, any circle will do. Take that one, Shift D, just pull it out, rotate 90, scale, scale again. And I think I'll take it all the way to where it gets larger, to about there. And then I press E to extrude, pull it through, and you can see the other one coming. I'm going to turn on clipping so that when they hit, they won't go any further, like that. Okay, so we got that going on. Come back here, Shift Alt and click that edge, make sure you got the whole thing. E and S, come out a little ways, E and come forward to around there. F to make a face, and let's bevel this back. Do that. You can add a few more segments if you want to be a bit smoother, something like that. Should be happening on the other side as well. That's good. Let's bevel here, go into edit mode, Shift Alt and click that edge, and bevel just with 3. So roll back, there's 2, 3, good. And we can shade smooth that. Let's actually have a look and see what's flipped, what's red, and apparently a lot of it is. So select and recalculate outside, select, Alt N, recalculate outside. It's all blue, so the polys are all facing out, and we're good to go. All right, the next thing we'll do is this wheel here. And to do that, I'm going to take another circle, Shift Alt and click there, Shift D, pull it out, S to scale, just making it larger. Okay, I'm going to break it out, P to break it out. Now select that whole thing. I'm going to turn off the mirror because I'm going to be joining it to here, and then it'll get mirrored automatically to there. I'm going to take this now and right click and choose Convert to Curve. Come to the Curve dialog box under Geometry and Bevel Depth. Hold Shift as you pull to get the approximate thickness. It ends up being a little bit bigger, so we can go into edit mode and scale it down. Just press S to scale until you get the size of the wheel that you want. All right, so I'm going to shade smooth. It's a little faceted. I don't like that, so I'm going to convert it to a mesh by changing the resolution to 3. Right click and choose Convert to Mesh. And now I'm going to press Control 1 for one subdivision. That'll add, a subdivision here. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that. Now you can come in here and delete some vertices if you want, but I'm just going to leave it as it is, and I think it's fine. All right, next we're going to select here, Shift S, cursor to selected, and press Control 3 to look from the left side. Is it left orthographic? Yes. And we're going to create the spokes. I'm going to bring in a plane, scale it down. I'm not even looking at the diagram for this. Rotate Y 90, pull that up a little ways. I'm going to select this edge and scale it in. Select this and just pull it up till it kind of looks like it hits. Now the whole thing is going to end up coming back to, maybe around there. See, I could look at the diagram, I suppose. I think it's around there. I'm going to drop an edge loop in there, and then I'm going to take this edge here and I'm going to push it forward. And we could leave it at that, or you can add another edge loop and just push it forward a bit. You get a more interesting shape. I might scale this in the Y a little bit. It's a little bit too thick, so something like that, just for something different. All right, so let's select this edge and this edge now, and bevel, Control B, pull. There's 3. I'm going to roll my mouse up until I have 5 sort of horizontal edges, make it a bit smoother. And then I'm going to add solidify to give it some thickness, and maybe I'll go a little bit more than that, not much more. That's fine. So I'm going to take that now and apply and slash key to focus on this, select this face and delete them. 2 for edge selection, and Shift Alt and click all the outer edges like that, and bevel. But I only want 3 in there. I can shade smooth. There's my piece on there. My 3D cursor is right in the middle. Control 3 to look from the left side. Select this and switch the pivot to 3D cursor. So my 3D cursor is right there. Now on this side you can use your scroll wheel to go up and down. Find this pie-like thing, the spin tool. Make sure that you are in the X axis, and then pull on one of these pluses around just a little bit and let go. I want to choose 7, so make sure that's 7. Use duplicates and 360 degrees. Now you can choose as many as you want, but I'm going to go with 7. Now you have to do this. A to select it all, M for merge, and choose by distance, and we will have gotten rid of a lot of vertices. Now come back up here, select that, deselect, back into object mode, and this is what we have. So I like that, so I'm going to take this and this and this, and I'm going to join them. Control J. We should now have it on the other side as well. I just want to double check this real quick. Yeah, looking good. Let's do a couple of bolts now. There's bolts up here, and there's a bolt on here, which you can't see until I do that. See, there's a bolt there. Okay, so let's work on that. My 3D cursor is right there, so that's in the vicinity. UV sphere, and I'm setting this as 12 and this as 12, so that's not too high poly. I'm going to go into wireframe and scale that down, and I will get rid of, I guess, the bottoms like that, and I will take this and scale in the Z to flatten it a bit and scale it, and then just position this. Let's move back to median point actually. Let's rotate X 90. Make sure it's facing the right direction. Pull it out. Okay. Scale it down, G, and go into wireframe actually and scale it. And I'm kind of going to place it probably between this line and this line, which is centered, but it's going to depend on how it goes on the curve here. So let's see what it looks like. I might have to adjust that. Yeah, it looks like it needs to go up a little bit, or maybe down a little bit. That might be a bit more centered on this actual model. So let's look at that. That looks a little bit big to me actually, so just a small change. Make sure it's embedded. That's probably going to be good enough. And so I should be able to take this. Let's see if we can just mirror it right off the bat in the Y. Yeah, okay, that's all right. So I'm going to apply that and join, and then it'll be on the other end, other end as well. Trouble saying other end. All right, let's put some bolts up on this thing now. So come in here, select a bit, Control L to select what's linked. So the whole thing. Pull it up. Let's break it out. Okay, now there's still a mirror on it, so we might be able to use that to our advantage. Let's take that and rotate X 90, so it's facing that way. Control 7 to look from the bottom. G, pull it pretty much into place, and then we're going to do this. I might make it a little bit bigger and sort of follow the diagram. Control 7. All right, something like that. Shift D to duplicate it, pull it over to here, A to select both of those, Shift D to duplicate, pull them down to there, and if that's looking okay, I'm going to, let's see, I don't want the mirror on it. Okay, get rid of the mirror so we have just the 4, because when this stuff is mirrored already. Okay, so with that done, I'm going to join that, and then you see it goes on to the other side. All right, how are we doing here? Anybody flipped? Nope, everybody's okay. So we also have some bolts on the table to do, so let's maybe take this one again. Control L, Shift D to duplicate, pull it up, and I'm going to P to break it out, and where to go? There it is. Let's take it far out in front, bring back the table, and start positioning this. There we go. And let's bring it back. Look from the front in wireframe. I'm going to drag that over. I think maybe I will scale it up bigger and just get it embedded. We can kind of use these edges to determine where to put it, so it's sort of outside the third. There's the middle edge, that one, and that one. So if I put that there, then I should have one on the other side in the X. Now I'm going to select the table and Shift S cursor to selected to make that my pivot point or my center point, and I'm going to try mirroring it in the Y as well. So that's working, and then I'm just going to take this, Shift D, pull that out, look from the top. I'm going to rotate 90, G, and again now you can see the facets a little bit more. Let's just see if that's the right position for it. I think so. Okay, something like that. That puts one there, and on all sides. Yep. So for this, I'm going to apply the mirror, and I'm going to join those to the table. Now, you don't have to join a bunch of stuff. I'll be texturing this at some point, then I might be breaking it out, but for the time being, I'm okay with doing that. Let's just do a little bit more, then I'm going to take a quick break and come back and do the rest. So Shift Alt and click that edge, make sure you get the whole thing. Bring the 3D cursor there, and I'm going to bring in a cube, I guess. Scale that down to get the approximate size, position it, box select or border select, bring it down to there. Let's get rid of that bottom face. So I have this, good. And I'm going to bevel this, so select these edges. I'm in edge selection, holding Shift to select those, Control B, pull, I only want 3, Shift Alt and click there. I'm going to bevel that. So I've got that, I can shade smooth, and I can actually join that to there, and then I'll get one on the other side as well. And I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a little piece here that I want to model as well. It's very easy to do. I'll show you what to do. Select that front face, Shift D to duplicate, pull it out, scale it. Let's break it out. And I'm going to get rid of the mirror on that because I'm going to be joining it, and then I'll have a mirror already. Pull it down to there. I'm going to pull it in from the front of the cube a little bit and a little bit down like that. I'll go ahead and extrude it back in and get rid of that face. I'm going to select this top edge and pull it down a bit. And now we can have a look at the diagram and see where we're at. We're pretty close. I'm going to scale it in the X a bit. I just want it a bit narrower. And that looks all right. So let's focus on that with the slash key so we can get rid of the bottom face. And then select this edge and hold Shift that edge, Shift that edge, Shift that edge. Control B to bevel with 3. Shift Alt and click that one. And do that. Slash key. There we go. All right, I'm going to bring my 3D cursor back to the middle of this. Shift S, cursor to selected. Take this and set the origin to the 3D cursor. And I am going to mirror, but in the Y. So it's on the back side of that as well. All right, I'm going to apply that mirror, and then I'm going to join it. And now it's on the other side as well. Let's just come in and do a quick merge by distance. Nothing to get rid of. double check the face orientation, and of course that is backwards. So Alt and recalculate outside, and we have this so far. All right, if I just focus on that, there is the table so far. So we have a few more things to do, but we'll do that when I come back, so I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to move on now to the legs or the feet of this, and this can be a little bit tricky. It's not hard to do, it's just hard to get it right. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to bring in a circle. I'm going to leave it at 32 vertices, rotate X 90, press 1 for vertex, drag it down, and I'm going to scale it a bit until I roughly match the curvature of this. And this is one of the parts that's a little bit weird. I'm going to come to the outer border if I can. And what I would like is the halfway point. So I'm just going to go ahead actually right now and get rid of that half and this half and look at that and see if I can use that. And I think, let's see if I scale it a bit, if I could use that. I'm going to scale it again. Just roughly get it to line up. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to extrude this down a bit more. This one I can use, and I'm going to extrude up like that. And maybe just pull them in a bit. I don't know. That's probably okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to extrude back. I'm going to turn on snap to vertex, so make sure this is on those dots there, snap to vertex. Take this one, E to extrude, pull back and hold control as you hover over that one. And then F to make a face. So I've got this. I can go ahead and make a face. So I mean, that's an okay shape, although we could come in here and we could, you know, play around with it or whatever. That's going to be fine anyhow. Okay, so now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this out, and this will have a mirror on it. So I'll put the mirror on now, and we'll see what's going on here. And maybe I'll turn on clipping and have that just attached to there. And I've got this. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to use this separately, I think, for the front piece. So I think what I'll do is I'll duplicate this out, break it out, and get rid of the mirror for now, and just move it off to the side. Just get out of there for now. Let's go back to this. And let's see if I can dissolve that vertex if I even need that. Right now I don't. So I've got a piece like that, and I think I will apply the mirror, come in here, we'll get rid of this edge, dissolve that edge so I can take the whole thing, because I want to make a groove inside. Can't see it very well there, you're about to see it. So looking from the front, I'm going to press I to inset and pull that in a little bit to make a border like that. Okay, so far so good. And then you'll notice that this cutout area doesn't go down the whole way. In fact, there's a little bit of an error on the diagram. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't think I can drop an edge loop, as you can see there. So what I'm going to do is simply I'm going to use mesh bisect and just drag through. And it doesn't have to be straight, because I'm going to straighten it by going SX0. So I have that. And I'm going to, let's see, maybe we can sort of center it up. There's different ways to do this. This might not be the best way. It's pretty much centered. I'm going to go Control B, roll back to 2, slide them out this way. So I sort of have two, pretty close. I'm just looking at this distance and that, and they're pretty close. I could maybe go GX a tiny bit. All right, so now I have a break there and a break there, because I want to select here and I want to select here, and I'm going to inset again. I to inset again, pull that in, but don't let it cross, just like this, and I'll go around there. X faces, I'm going to get rid of that face. So I have this. All right, so far so good. All right, now I could use solidify. Maybe it's a good idea to use solidify. So I'll use generate, solidify. I'm going to set this at 0, the offset, so that when I increase the thickness, it'll go left and right equally. To something like that, maybe a little bit less, because the outer border, which we can't see right now, is going to be extruded out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that a little bit less wide. It's just, you just do it by feel. I'm going to apply that, and now I'm going to take the outer border. So Shift Alt and click in face selection, you get the entire outer border. Shift Alt and click. I click on one of those lines, and that'll do that. I'm going to press E and SY and pull outwards like that. Okay, so you see we have the outer border. Now there's stuff I can get rid of. Here, let's just focus on that with the slash key. You can get rid of all these edges. So Shift Alt and click, Shift Alt and click. That'll go all the way around and under. X, dissolve edges. We don't need that. All right, so far so good. So let's come in here, and you'll notice that I've got a little bit of a problem here. And I'm going to see if I can dissolve this edge. And I just did, and it doesn't seem to appreciably damage anything, but it's causing more trouble than it's worth because it's so darn close down here. So I'm going to delete that. Maybe you saw that and I missed it. So that's now gone. And I can come up here and get that inner edge. Shift Alt and click that inner edge. And let's do that on the back. That inner edge. And this inner edge. And just watch it carefully as we do this. Control B. Any problems? I don't really see anything. And now I would like to try and get this edge all the way through. So I may have to do a couple of clicks to get it. All the way down here and around, and it comes around. And here, in fact, I could probably get rid of this edge. It's not necessarily helping me. So there, and I might as well just do it here as well. And then I'll look at getting rid of that. We'll see if I need to or not. There and there. So I should have everything. So let's have a look at how this goes. Control B, hold Shift. All right. 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click there. It comes down there and then goes up there. I don't think I need that. So Shift Alt and click those, X, dissolve. Okay, now if I shade smooth, it's not bad. I don't think I need a subdivision on there or anything. Let's bring back everything and see where this is and how close we got to the diagram. I think we're pretty good. The one other thing I would like to do is I'd like to have some pieces in the middle. You see, there's something that I left off. So what can I use to do this? That's the question. Just take a piece of anything. That's good enough. Okay. Shift D to duplicate, G, pull it out. I'm going to break this out, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. I guess I want it to go through both sides. I'm going to try SY, see if it pokes through and comes not quite to the edge. Yeah, all right. And now I'm going to grab that. Did I get both of them? Pull that down. Yeah, okay. I'll grab those. Pull that up. I'm not saying this is the final position. I'm going to extrude just thin piece. So that goes through on both sides. Okay, let's take that though and get rid of the top. We're not going to need the top face or the bottom face. And then I'm just going to bevel the edges with 3 slash key, and let's see. Okay, so what I would like to do is I'm going to bring that down around there, and I'm going to mirror it to the other side around there, and I'm going to apply that mirror and I'm going to join it. So we have those. Then I'm going to come over here and take this bolt, Shift D. So again, this part's not on the diagram, but it's something I wanted to do, or on the reference. Period key. Now there's a mirror on there in the X. So let's get this something like that. So do I have it on the? I have it on the other side. It's okay. That's good. So what I want is I want two bolts like that, and then okay, I didn't separate them out, so P to break them out. There, we got two bolts there, and Shift D to duplicate. I want two bolts on that side as well. Just makes it look a little bit more industrial, I think. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to apply the mirror, and I'm going to join them onto there. And let's have a look. We haven't done that for a while. Okay, that's flipped, so we'll do that. Good. That. So that's a separate piece, and I might have to scale it in the X just a little bit so that it makes better contact. So hopefully that won't change the curvature of anything too much. I'm not going to get rid of the back faces there. We're just going to have that there. And that leaves me with this piece here. And I'm going to position this. Let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to rotate X 180. Is that right? Yeah. Rotate Z 90 minus, like that. Okay. I'm going to take this and snap to the bottom. Push it in a little bit. It's going to be, okay, so it's going to face like that. All right. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing with this one piece. So I'm going to press I to inset and give it a border like that. Then you press I to inset again. Bring that in pretty good, just watching how small it gets. That's okay. Might be hard to bevel that though. So you know what? I'm going to redo that and not make it too small. I'm just going to go like that. Okay, like that. All right, let's extrude out. Give it some thickness. I could look at the diagram. That's pretty close anyhow. Okay, like that. Although I need to make it smaller because I'm going to be extruding the sides, the outer border. Shift Alt and click, Shift Alt and click like that. Okay, ESX to pull that out, just like we did before. 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click, X, dissolve edges. We don't need those. That's the general shape. Now I'm going to bevel. So slash key, I'm going to focus on this, and we are close to being done. Shift Alt and click these edges. These ones down here, I want to be a little careful of that they don't overlap. Control B with 3. It's fine. Let's do the Shift Alt and click the outer one. It goes all the way around. Okay, little bevel on that guy. Shift Alt and click the inner of the outer, if that makes any sense. Doesn't, but okay, that one, a little bit of a bevel. The inside, good. And this one, and it should go all the way around, and it does. Oh, you see, we've got a problem here. What did I do? Jeez, let's go back up. Okay, Shift Alt and click that one. Shift Alt and click this one. Okay, that's causing a problem up here. And it might be because some of my polys are flipped. I have an extra. All right, the problem is here. This edge is causing a problem, so I'm going to dissolve that edge, and now I should be good to go with no problems at all. We wish. Okay, there we go. That's better. And then this inner one, which does go all the way around, yes. And this one, Control B. So I beveled it all. I'm going to shade smooth. And that's the shape that I get. Slash key. Take this and make sure it makes contact here. And now I can take this and I can mirror this in the Y, not in the X. So it goes to the front and the back. And if I like it, I'm going to apply the mirror, take this and join it to this part, and then it should be mirrored over there. Now the only thing that's not joined is this and the table, the top, but I'm going to take that and hide it, take all of this, come in, merge by distance, then get rid of anything, and check the face orientation, which looks good. And just double check that I'm not missing anything that I was supposed to put on. Whether or not you delete some other faces is up to you. Now I'll take this, and so that's mirrored. I think I will go ahead and apply the mirror, and then one more time just merge by distance. And I may take this piece now and go ahead and join it together. Again, I like to merge by distance. I don't know, maybe I don't need to. Now the table top, because this is now, the mirror isn't applied, I'm now going to actually join those, and I have that modifier on there that's fixing up anything. And so I think we have done it. Now I may model some glassware later, but for now that is the modeling part done. Here, let's just do Shift C to bring my 3D cursor back there. Let's hide all that stuff, and T to hide that. Let's make sure we've saved. Let's throw on the shadow, and let's actually move over to, I like this one a lot just for testing the shading, although it's a little hard to see, but that's the model that we end up with. I'll just come to something else. Alright, unless I've forgotten anything, that is our model. I'm going to come back to this one, because with that other matte cap, this was looking a little bit flat, but that's the model. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be it. So in the next video, I'm either going to texture this and wrap it up, or I might model a little bit of glassware in between and have that there. So if you do give that a try, I think it's all pretty straightforward, except this part and this is a little weird. It's not hard to do, but sometimes it's easy to make a mistake. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. Take care.